Hello, everybody. So I made this video that you're about to see on my thoughts on the new red and blue versions of the classic Beatles comps and the new song now and then, which I hadn't talked about yet. Just kind of threw it all in one video, and I was thinking about it, and I felt like I really needed to say kind of one more thing, but I'm not at home at this point, so I'm just sort of adding this. Adding this little intro here to address one issue. An editor can kind of just attach it to the original video. Hope it sounds and looks all right. I don't have my microphone. I don't have my lights. All of the fancy Hollywood trappings of my usual excellent production. But you know, one thing I don't really address in the video, I just want to say this from the outset, because a lot of people do seem to really be focusing on this. I don't talk hardly at all about comparing, contrasting the new Giles Martin mixes of these songs versus the old original George Martin mixes. I know that's of great interest to some people. I find it interesting, I enjoy listening and comparing the two, but that's not really just my approach in this video. So just kind of like I said, a heads up. In the video, one, just address the new song. Two, I want to really wanted to kind of hit upon just how important the red and blue comps were, to my generation and later generations as it's sort of a gateway into the Beatles. And then what really interested me more than anything else is these expanded versions and what songs they added, to make it kind of a fuller introduction. And so that's really kind of the things I focus on. I will say, if you do want to get real good analysis of just the difference in these mixes, the Giles Martin mixes and all of that. Norman Maslov's video that he put out recently is excellent. TJR, I don't know if you ever watched TJR's channel. They did a real good job looking at that aspect. So, maybe I'd steer you that direction for just talking about the difference in mixes and all that. But if you want to hear all the other stuff, stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to Amity Tracks. I've kind of stayed out of the whole Beatles thing in the past week or two, but I can't do that anymore. Uh, I'll talk some Beatles. I know there's like 10,000 videos out there giving an opinion on the new song now and then, and the red and blue. I do want to talk mainly about the red and blue, the new reissues, expanded editions of the red and blue albums. But I go ahead and throw my 2 cents in on the new song as well. So, as I think all of you know, these classic comps that the red, which was 1962 to 1966, and the blue, which is 1967 to 1970, these classic compilations that were so instrumental in introducing the Beatles to a whole generation, at least the generation that kind of came after, when the Beatles broke up. Really, I guess partly my generation. I was introduced to the Beatles through these. The by the way, these are not the new ones that just came out. These are my old copies, but I did, I'll use them for show, but we'll talk about the new versions. I mean, just two I think of the most crucial compilations ever. As far as impact goes. I mean, for me, it was that, and it was the Rolling Stones' Hot Rocks, and that kind of stuff. So let's talk about these. So they remastered them and they have expanded them, and to me, the expansion is the most interesting part. Now, it's interesting also to compare the vinyl versus the CD. I think they really blew it on the vinyl. So, each of these in their original form, two records. So the new vinyl versions are 3 records. And instead of, putting the new songs kind of in chronologically where they would fit, for a great flow, they kept the original versions as record 1 and 2, and then just a third record with all the new songs, on each of these. I think that's a terrible mistake. I mean, that reason alone, I'm not going to go buy those. Um, I think they did a much better job on the CDs. For some reason, on the CDs, they did exactly what I said they should have done on the vinyl. Is they have put, interspersed the new expanded, version, the new expanded tracks, where they would go chronologically, and so it makes for a much, I think, better chronological listen. So, if anything, I'd go grab the CDs, but I have all the Beatles stuff and can burn my own CDs, so I don't need to go buy that. So yeah, so that's one thing. I much prefer the CD configuration versus the vinyl configuration. Let's go ahead and talk about this song, Now and Then. Our editor can throw up the underwhelming artwork. This is so many people have commented on. Like I said, there the past week or so, whatever, there have been 10,000 videos on YouTube. People like me, people like you, all opining on this song. Here's my quick view on it. I like it. I don't love it. I don't think it's not adding to this amazing Beatles canon, in a substantial way. It's nice. I'm glad it's there, but it's got a little kind of a nice, memorable piano line in there, and it is great, obviously, to hear John sing again. That's wonderful. But it is what it is, and what it is a demo, and not even a demo from the Beatles era. This is, a late '70s John Lennon demo, and in the the same batch, from where Real Love and Free as a Bird came from. And I so I have a hard time saying, oh, the new Beatles song, when it's a demo from a later era. It didn't go through the Beatles process that a lot of the Beatles, like a Beatles song during the Beatles era, one of them would bring this song in, and then the other guys would contribute, and then the originator would then, bounce some ideas, and it was this collaborative process. All three of these songs were, like I said, late '70s John Lennon demos, and ones that he didn't really move forward with, because he did, he did go in and record after these demos. Um, so yeah, in case you've been off the planet for the last couple weeks, this demo is I think from around 1977. The same batch that Free as a Bird and Real Love is from. And if you remember, in the mid '90s, around 1995, the Threedles, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison, decided to work these up. Yoko Ono had handed this cassette, over to Paul McCartney, and so with her blessing, do with it what you will. And as you know, they worked up Free as a Bird and Real Love. Those were the bonus track, one bonus track each on the volume 1, volume 2 on the anthology. This song was going to be the bonus track on the third anthology, but due to either or both, the technology not being there to really separate Lennon's voice from his piano part, and George Harrison just losing interest and not really digging the song in the first place, kind of gave up on this last song. But fast forward to 2023 with Peter Jackson, with his AI technology that he used in the Get Back uh, uh, documentary, that we all watched over last Christmas, whenever that was. Um, Now we can separate Lennon's voice from his original piano part. And so this is a real kind of Frankenstein track. It's got John Lennon's vocal from '77, from that demo. It's got some George Harrison guitar from '95. And then it's got Ringo Starr drums from 2023. Paul McCartney redid the piano part, laid some bass and some more guitar, 2023. And then Ringo and Paul do some backing vocals from 2023. I find it kind of odd hearing
you know, Paul and Ringo's voices, the 70s and 80-year-old men with a young John Lennon. That's a little strange. Alex is nice, but it is an unfinished demo. I'm not feeling the you look at some of these videos out there, people are quivering with emotion and tears, and it's a demo from the late 70s, not a particularly fertile period for John Lennon, and the other guys just kind of prettied it up, which is the same thing with Free as a Bird and Real Love. I don't consider any of those three songs like really like Beatles songs. It's John Lennon demos that the other guys kind of played with. I'm glad they're there, but that's what they are. Anyway, that's my view on it. Now the Peter Jackson video, that's a that tears at your heartstrings. That's a tearjerker. And actually watching the video with the song makes the song a lot more powerful. Actually, just with the imagery, but the video is great. Video's great. All right, let's talk about these Red and Blue albums. That's what I really want to talk about. Red and Blue. What's changed? One thing I noticed, they got a lot more George on there. A lot of more George Harrison songs were put on there. Well, let's start with the Red. Like I said, I'm holding up my original copy, but for the visual, we're talking about the new version here. So, um, I think the Red is nearly perfect now. They fixed the major flaw in the original, which was having like all these rubber soul material, which is great. Love rubber soul. But then like juxtaposed with, I think it was like 2 Revolver tracks. Well, a lot of the extra tunes that they've added here were Revolver tracks, so they've balanced that rubber soul Revolver. So now there's a ton of tracks from both, rightly so, and that balance is there, and that was the major flaw originally, and they have fixed that. I also really dig adding I Saw Her Standing There and Twist and Shout, 2 great essential, early tracks that really have the energy. So yeah, I really like what they've done here. So if you watch some of our recent videos, my new series, Albums That Should Have Been, let's play a little mini version of that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to mess with any of the songs that were on the original set. All I'm going to do is sort of work with the expanded tracks that they've added on this new version. So let's have editor list the new songs on the Red set, okay, on the Red album, 62 to 66. So here are the new ones that they added. I Saw Her Standing There, Twist and Shout, This Boy, Roll Over Beethoven, You Really Got a Hold on Me, You Can't Do That, If I Needed Someone, Taxman, Got to Get You Into My Life, I'm Only Sleeping, Here, There, and Everywhere, and Tomorrow Never Knows. Those are the added tracks, from that were added to this new version. Okay, that's was that 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 new tracks. Pretty awesome to expand that. So let's play our Albums That Should Have Been, a little mini version here. What would I trade out here? Not much. I think most of these are great choices to expand the original great Red album. There's only 3 of these tracks I'd pull out and change out for 3 other tracks. So see if editor can do this. If editor can take out from this list here, Roll Over Beethoven, You Really Got a Hold on Me, and You Can't Do That. I would take those 3 out. And then here's the 3 that I would add in their place from that era. I would put in Things We Said Today, I've Just Seen a Face, and Rain. So I say this is near perfect now with this new configuration, new version. Make my 3 changes, it would be perfect in my view. All right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I Saw Her Standing There, Twist and Shout. perfect additions. This boy is great. If I Needed Someone is one of my favorite kind of deeper cuts off of the Rubber Soul. You know, George Harrison song, and kind of George Harrison doing the Birds, basically, which is great. Um, yeah, and all the additional Revolver tracks are, yeah, definitely, definitely. So there you go. All right, let's wipe that out of the way. Let's talk Blue, 1967 to 70. The Blue album was not so improved. God, I think they missed on this one. Where they got it mostly right on the Red, I don't think they got it right on the Blue. So here are the new tracks they added to the Blue album: Within You, Within You Without You, Dear Prudence, Glass Onion, Blackbird, Hey Bulldog, Oh Darling, I Want You, She's So Heavy, I Me Mine, and the new song Now and Then. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, the original, 2 album set of the Blues, man, that was so essential for me. Wow, it plays so well. But if we're gonna play this game, what would I trade out? I would change out about 5 of these songs. So there's fewer songs added to the Blue. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 12. Well, still quite a bit. But I'd take 5 of these 9 out and switch them out. So again, editor, with the new tracks listed here, here's what I would take out. Let's remove Within You Without You, Within You Without Me. I So George Harrison, I'm not into his Indian stuff. I'm just not. Uh, Glass Onion, Oh Darling, I Want You, and I Me Mine. Let's take those out. Here's what I would put in their place: Helter Skelter, rock out on Helter Skelter. Happiness is a Warm Gun might be my favorite track on the White Album. You Never Give Me Your Money might be my favorite song on Abbey Road. I don't know. That's hard to say. I don't know. And then the rest of the Abbey Road medley. I think if you take out I Want You, that length is almost 8 minutes, and then you could kind of fit on the Abbey Road medley. It's close enough. Abbey Road medley is maybe 2 more minutes or something like that. I think it would fit. And I guess some people put You Never Give Me Your Money with the medley. Whatever. But we can put You Never Give Me Your Money and then the rest of that medley there. And then Two of Us. I would add Two of Us from Let It Be. I think that would make this a lot stronger. So, anyway, what do you guys think? I'll pick up my red again. I mean, I want to let's talk Beatles in the comments. What do you think of the new song? What do you guys think of the new expanded versions, the vinyl versus the CD, whatever? What do you think of the additional tracks that were added? How would you kind of alter it if you were in charge of putting out the expanded version? Let's talk all that stuff. I want to hear what you guys think. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I feel like I'm like way late on all this Beatles stuff because people have been putting out videos for like 2 weeks. But I don't know. I was finally moved. I think when I started looking at the track listings on these comps, and I was like, here's what I would change. It's like, okay, let's make a video. So anyway, if you still want to talk Beatles, let's do it. Thank you for watching, guys. Please do subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications, like the videos. All of that stuff helps us out. And we'll see you next time on Amity Tracks.